let's do a hypothetical. Let's do a little thought experiment. Let's take 1,000 hardcore feminists and 1,000 normie girls. Which group do you think, on average, has better and healthier relationships? Be honest.
Well, were we talking about a hardcore therapist, or sorry, therapist, Jesus Christ, feminist? Sorry. What do you mean by that?
I'm kind of uncomfortable with the way you say "be honest" there. Like it suggests that there's like a really easy, obvious answer to this, and I just don't know.
Well,
like you think there is. You clearly think there is a very easy, obvious answer. Right?
What the question you're really asking is, if somebody is ideologically motivated, do you think that they might have a difference in relationship than somebody who isn't? Like, because that's really the question you're asking.
Well, the question
right?
is the larger question is,
because you could say that about anybody that's politically motivated.
Well, the larger question is, does feminism negatively affect women?
Does feminism negatively affect women? In
Yeah,
some
so
ways you could
you would expect that if the answer is no, then it would be like equal. It'd be like, dude, I think it's going to be a wash. If the answer is yes, you'd be like, yeah, I think that the hardcore feminist woman on average would have slightly more dysfunctional relationships, or moderately or severely, than the normie girls, right? So that's kind of the point of the thought experiment.
Do you have some stats on that, or are you just saying that?
Well, I'm just asking you a hypothetical.
Yeah, well, I think like one of the problems with the hypothetical.
I'm not even making a point yet. I just want to see where you stand on this.
From my perspective, one of the problems. Go ahead.
I don't understand how we could. What's the hypothetical is based off of what?
The hypothetical is a thought experiment. Just once you answer the
right, but you're talking about radfat. Like, I don't know who these people are. Like, this is like just seems like you do this all the time. It's very silly. I don't really want to get trapped into this. If
yes,
you want to be a little bit more specific.
I ask hypotheticals because they're a good way to test someone's.
Okay, but you need to be more specific about a hypothetical like that.
What would you like me to clear up? What is
so it seems like the value that you're isolating, because again, I agree, like hypotheticals are good for like testing specific variables in someone's like belief system. So it seems like the variable you're trying to test is like holding feminist values. But I think one of the problems I was going to point out is that you even alone in this, like we're talking about people holding feminist values in a society that is still like very, very much susceptible to, like it still is a patriarchy and is susceptible to the history of patriarchy and of feminism not even existing. So like this we're talking about them in this context, and women in that context, or the tragcon women, are also existing in that context, which makes it like just holding the values of feminism. Like I don't know what we're isolating. Like what is isolating for that here give us?
Well, let me try to. Well, I mean, if you guys just engage in a hypothetical, I can.
Yeah, but my answer is I don't know. My answer is I don't know.
Okay, so let me try to maybe
I don't know.
Okay, let me try to explain maybe more clearly. Okay, so when I say feminist, I don't mean just a woman like Kyla who believes that men are equal to women or women are equal to men, blah blah. I'm talking about those toxic feminists that we see on TikTok who are basically saying men are evil, men are rapists. The opposite.
The worst of the worst.
Hardcore red pill, yeah, the most extreme ones, which is it's not 5 or 10, it's a good amount of them. Compare that to your average normie girl, the girl that doesn't follow any feminism, red pill shit. She just goes to work, she hangs out with her friends, that's it. And I guess I'm just curious once again, like, where do you think? I know you can't give me a precise answer because it's hypothetical, but just ballpark, where do you stand? Like, which one of those groups do you think on average has healthier relationships?
Well, again, you're describing which one has a healthy relationship: an extremist that is not focused on relationships versus a person that is probably more likely to be.
Well, we don't know. Why would she not be focused on relationships?
Because they're an extremist. That's your description of what you're trying to say.
But are you saying feminists don't want relationships, or like at least
no? You're using an example of, you wanted to say, when you say the feminists, you want to see the most extreme ones. So the fact that they're a feminist extremist is irrelevant. It's the fact that they're an extremist is the commentary here, right?
Like, it sounds like they're an extreme outlier even among feminists. Like,
well, no, I don't think these girls are extreme outliers. Wait, so would you say that?
Well, then who are you referencing? That's why we're confused. You said that it was the man-hating feminists on TikTok. Like the
most hardcore.
Those are, and yeah, the most, literally, that's what you said. The most hardcore, the most extremist. So you can't just say that and then assume that we're gonna think that it's gonna be like what the middle rung. You just said it was the extremist.
Okay, so the man-hating ones. I mean, are you saying that they don't want relationships to begin with?
I would say that women who hate men are probably going to have worse relationships with men than women who don't hate men. Sure.
There we go.
Yeah, that seems
Okay.
pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would
You're
be
talking about extremists, yes.
Yeah, if you're
Right,
talking
that
about
would be
man-hating
another-
people specifically, yeah.
but this kind of rhetoric is pretty well tolerated in the feminist community from what I've seen. So that would be another clear, succinct example of feminism negatively affecting a woman's
You're
dating.
constantly okay.